You're right, guys, it's Ginetta here and got something a little bit special. Because it's the end of the GT3 season and we're just waiting for the new season to start up, AOR decided to do a special mini event which consists of 2 events as far as I know. You have got this event, which is the GT4 Mini Cup in the Ginettas, which I know this is a long video, but the racing is incredible, so please stay with it. I've tried to edit it so that the only bits you see are the bits where there's action and there's overtaking and battling. So I know it's about 23-24 minutes long, but it is action-packed. And as far as I know, they're doing a Le Mans 2.4 hour event as well. At what time? I don't know, that's still being discussed. As much as I know, it's being held on a weekend at some point due to the length of the actual race. But yeah, as you can see, we're going around Donington Park at the moment. I think this is Donington National, as it doesn't go through the foggy ESs, it takes the short track, like the little chicane that leads back onto the main straight. As you can see, I haven't had the best of laps so far, and if you look in the top right, my sector times are actually slower, and I'm still behind the previous best lap I did. But you'll see through this bit, I absolutely balls this up on the quickest lap that's up there, because I managed to gain about 4 attempts. But yeah, that put me, well, provisional first. I didn't actually stay there because, as you see, by the time the results come, I ended up getting dropped down to 3rd. But any keen-eyed viewers will know I made so many mistakes on that lap. I quite possibly could have had first with a 109, a higher 109, but ifs, buts and maybes. So yeah, starting 3rd on the grid, and you'll notice with this start, it looks like I get a good launch, and then I just get swallowed by everyone. Well, not so much swallowed, but look, up to the back of Blizzard. Now, default setups were forced. Like, that option was on. But for some strange reason, my car didn't feel the same as everybody else's. It felt slower in a straight line and everything else. But yeah, oh yeah, check the drifting through the old hairpin. Woo! Tokyo Drift, have that. But, so yeah, coming up to the end of the, well, not even the end of the first lap, a few corners on. And we're trying to go down the inside of Blizzard. Is it going to pay off? He brakes late as well, or we lock up the brakes, so we decide to turn in early. Cut the corner a little bit, but I'm not actually trying to take the position off him. And as you can see, there's a little bit of rubber banding. Now, if this is the first video you're ever going to see of Project Cars, please don't pay attention to the rubber banding. I don't know why it was doing this. It was a one-off. And I actually thought that could have been a good move. I think Blizzard turned in a little bit too early. But I would have that view, as I sort of feel I nailed that braking point. But yeah, the rubber band, oh yeah, here we go, check this, Urban Octane, runs a little bit wide at the old hairpin, we floor it, bosh. But yeah, this was a one-off. My connection usually holds up. Check all my Elite League races. I mean, very rare is there a connection problem. Even with the ones I was hosting this event, and for some strange reason, there's a few connection issues, but it was workable, to be honest, so we can't complain. As we now go around the outside of Blizzard, and we hold our position, we give him enough room on the outside, and then we just slot the car back in front to make sure he can't do anything. And I do this twice this race. This is the first time. Oh, just watching it back kills me. Well, fucking belling. But yeah, so now you'll see Tom Chambers go past, and I got all that work to catch up. I was sort of hoping I might be able to catch Rez. Not anymore. But yeah, so now chasing Tom Chambers. Raced with him in the XRL leagues. I think I've raced with him in a few AOR social races as well. Got a lot of respect for him. I've been in a few races where he's been about a lap or 2 laps down, and he stayed in and finished the race. So good. He is a quality racer. Little bit unlucky with his, well, little bit unlucky that he's like struggling to catch 3rd and 2nd and 3rd. But we send it down the inside of Tom. He gives us enough room on the inside, and now it's just who's got the biggest balls going into the crane of curves. And I'll let you know now, I love this track. I'm never going to surrender that position. Never. So yeah, and I don't know why it done this, but here we go. It was 5.7 on lap 6, I think it was. 3.6 at the beginning of lap 8. Lap 9, we take about 2 seconds out of Blizzard, but I think he was battling with someone. And so yeah, I think within the space of about 4 laps, we've closed the 6-second gap. And what is coming up is one of the best overtakes online or in real life that I have ever fucking seen. I blew my lid when I fucking done this, when I was racing with everyone. Ask Stevie, ask everyone else, but just watch it. pitch perfect switchback, going through the old hairpin. Oh, just fucking incredible. I lost it. Like, jizz went everywhere. Fucking ceiling, TV, the cats, just fucking everywhere. And now we're chasing Urban Octane for second place. And as you can see, the rubber banding is a little bit more extreme with Urban's at the moment. So just sort of trying to bide our time. As you can see, I'm sort of soaring at the wheel because I'm trying to make sure I don't hit his sort of like rubber banding car. Because it will only affect me and it won't affect him because that's not where his car is like actually on the track. So yeah, coming up now, going through the old hairpin. Tiny bit of a corner cut, but Urban runs wide, and now we've got to make this count. We have to try and get a great run out of the next right-hander, because otherwise we're screwed. So brake a little bit early, down in the second, get the turn in, and then we just floor it. And we managed to get it, and we're going down the inside. I think this is McLean's, coming up to McLean's now. Stomp on the anchors, down in the second. We had to hug the inside to make sure we couldn't get the switch back on us, and we done it. A great recovery drive that got us up from 5th, about 10 seconds behind second place, all the way back up into second. Now we've just got one last corner, and if you remember what I told you, I've done this twice. And there's only one more opportunity to fucking do it. Oh my days, you have no, just ask Stevie, ask Blizzard, ask anybody that was in that party. I was going mental. I cannot believe I threw away a second place finish because of my fucking pedal to the metal driving style. Fuck. But yeah, as you can see, congrats to Resbrin in the first round of that. Even though I fucked it up, well-deserved second place. And Blizzard in third. So now we move on to Silverstone National. If you don't know what this track is, it's the old start-finish straight. And as you come up to Maggots and Beckett's, they basically turn Maggots into sort of like a double apex hairpin sort of thing, and then you go down the hanger straight, and then you finish off the track that way. So yeah, qualifying, our best time at the moment's got us sitting in second place. Whether or not we're going to drop down any further whilst we're doing this lap, I cannot remember. But yeah, I mean, this track was quite, because well, it's not really a problem, but the good thing about the Ginettas when you've got default setups forced is the brake pressure's on 100%. So you really have to have a good feel for the brakes. And the wheel that I use has no force feedback. I just have to sort of go on visual cues about how the car's handling, if the cars are locking up, the tyres are locking up, or the brakes are locking up. Fucking spit it out, mate. And I sort of have to use audio cues as well. So I've got no feel through the wheels. So I'm just sort of like guessing where everything is. And Rez, the bastard, beat me by 2 tenths again. As you can see, sorting out the fuel. But Rez qualified first, I'm second, Blizzard in third, Deuce fourth, Franglish fifth, good to have him back in this as well. Stone sixth, Stevie seventh, Urban eighth, Germo ninth, and Merloso, also good to have him back. If you've watched any of my F1 videos from the GP2 leagues, they should be 2 names that are very familiar to you, as I've had battles with both of them for quite a while. But yeah, and check out this start. Pull up alongside Rez, and then Blizzard's like, nope, fuck you. And then just decides to spin me out for some reason. Now, I'm not blaming Blizzard. I obviously know he would not do that on purpose. There's probably a little bit of a connection issue there somewhere. No point in arguing about it. These races were more for fun. There's enough laps to be able to make up all the positions you lost. Oh yeah, check this out. Track extenders. Fucking form up and roll out. Like, Jesus. That curb's there for a reason. You're not supposed to go over it. Yeah, so it's all getting a bit tight coming through the Maggots bit, leading onto the hanger straight. And yeah, no positions gained, none lost really. Urban's still having still rubber banding quite a bit. Apparently Stevie was having connection issues with this as well. It weren't so bad for me, to be honest. Could have been better. Check this out. Talk about right between the middle and no contact as well. That's what I loved about it, no contact. And now we tried to hang it around the outside of Tom. A little bit too much power too early, I think, and then the understeer just killed us. So moving forward onto lap 3 now. Once again coming up to Maggots, the Maggot section. Oh, Tom's hit Urban. Urban's gone. Oh, nice one. Oh, fishtailed it. Did he spin it or did he manage to hold it? Looks like he managed to hold it, even if he is flailing about all over the track. And now, dive down the inside of Tom with a great move on the brakes. That's what I like. If you can find the sweet spot with the brakes for these cars, you have such an advantage. It is unreal. And I was there or thereabouts. I had a few oh yeah, oh, there's Jermo. There you go. He's spinning around in circles. But if you find that sweet spot, you do have such an advantage, because where people can't find that sweet spot quickly, they just go to a safe point where they know the brakes work, but they're not working to their full potential. So yeah, it's all about knowing your strengths and knowing your weaknesses. And my strength in this car was on the brakes, even though you will see throughout this video there are times where I fuck it up, like there. A little bit too deep into the corner, Stevie gets a switchback, and if you look at the split deltas down in the bottom left, well, we were side by side, but he gets a great run, so can't argue. So we switched to the outside, and I'll let you know now, we try and hang around the outside, lock up. That's the problem with trying to be on that line with the brakes. You do run the risk of locking up. But we take a way, and then squirt a throttle straight down the inside of Stevie. That's what I love about that corner. There's so many ways you can take it. I lost the position, so I was like, may as well try a switchback. Squirt a throttle straight down the inside. I've raced with Stevie long enough now that there's a mutual respect between each other. Always leave enough room if we know they're there. And yeah, back into turn one. Stevie had serious issues with that corner. Very rarely did he actually hit the apex with that corner. But he managed to carry the speed, so no, it don't really matter. So we throw it down the inside of Genius, and then we're going down the inside of Franglish, and then Franglish just shuts the door. So now we're being hung out to dry on the outside, which then allows Genius back on the inside. I'm not too sure if I touched you there, Franglish. Please let me know if I did. Because obviously where my field of view is like so far back, it's like the closest I'll ever get to sitting in one of these cars and actually racing. So that's the view I use. So if I did hit you, please let me know. And you can just say sorry. Like, what's done is done. But yeah, we get a little nudge, no track extending as well. 4 cars battling for 5th position. I think at this point, Stevie was like, Franglish is pushing me! Ah! And then I just get hung out to dry on the outside again. Can't switch back. Like, got a little nudge from Tom. Like, can't really argue. I mean, it's racing. Like, we will have contact at points. As long as it's not race-ending contact or like spinning me out sort of thing. And yeah, we try and get down the inside of Franglish and Stevie. Franglish tries to squeeze Stevie, and then Stevie's going absolutely mad, like, no, Franglish, I'm still here. So, and then you'll see Franglish does it. Does it again. It's just like, he's literally trying to barge Stevie off the road. Once again, Stevie goes wide, although he had no choice because there was a car on the inside. And then we sneak back up into 7th. So, yeah, actually, there needs to be a Ginetta. Oh yeah, sorry about that one as well, Frank. As you can see, nudged him wide, so I come off the throttle a little bit, giving the advantage. But Blizzard also made a mistake. So now it's a 4-car scrap for 6th. Oh my god. Oh, these races were incredible. But yeah, there needs to be a GT4 championship on AOR with false default setups. I have to admit, I've been like when in the GT3 discussion thread for next season, there's a lot of people saying, oh, default setups for GT3s. No. If you want default setups, do not come into the GT3 league. That's what separates the drivers in the GT3 class. You need to be good. You need to be a good racer, and B, you need to be all right at setting your car up. You can't just have one. You need to have both. Oh, Jesus Christ! I forgot about that late braking move. Jesus Christ. But yeah, as you can see, like, I would happily test out the brakes. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, there needs to be a GT4 championship with false default setups. Maybe you could have like a British championship where you have false default setups, and then like you could have 2 divisions. You have a regional, you have a national level where you just race around the small circuits of every track, like Snetterton 200 and Alton Park Island or something like that, or Silverstone National and Donington Park National. And then you can have like a World Series where the best drivers from the GT4 campaign get to not just race but do the setups. But if you're in the lower league, you have to race with default setups to prove yourself as a racer to then go up to be able to edit the setups. Now, as you can see through the footage that just happened there, I did nudge Franglish. I did apologise to him after the race. I'll see if I can add in a photo at some point in the corner from the message I sent him on Xbox, because he was quite gentlemanly about it. I can't complain. Where we've raced for a long time, I said sorry to him. He was like, look, don't worry about it. Stuff happens. And Yeah, I also had to apologise for this as well. I said to him after the race, all I can do is apologise. That was absolutely piss poor racing on my part. I'm sorry for ruining your race. And he was like, don't worry about it. If you hit me again next time, I'll just have to nudge you back. So, can't argue with that, to be fair. Not much you can do. So yeah, now moving on to Snetterton 300. As you can see, there's no qualifying video for this one. That is because I fucked up my one and only qualifying time because there was only 5 minutes for qualifying. It takes 2 minutes to do a lap. So by the time you've done your out lap, if you haven't spun on cold tyres, you've only got enough time for 1 lap. I ballsed up my lap, just retired to the pit box so I didn't interfere with anybody else's qualifying and ended up starting last. So yeah, should be a interesting race this one. But yeah, we get a great launch. I don't know what was up with Merloso in this race though. Like, he is a fast driver. As I've said, I raced with him in the GP2 leagues. He is a solid racer. He's quick and he's a respectful racer as well. But I don't know what happened. As you can see, look, watch this. That's what I mean about sweet on the brake. A little bit onto the grass. I think Merloso gave me a little bit too much space there. I think he thought I was going to overshoot the corner, but I managed to get it stopped. This corner is incredible. This is what I love about it. Germo, I've got to ask, what the fuck were you doing? Like, let me know if there was like any connection issues or anything, but why did you just ram me off the road? But yeah, Snetterton 300 is such a driver's track for the corner that we've just gone round and the previous corner that you just saw where Germo took me off. If you know how to take those corners correctly, you have such an advantage. Oh yeah, also check this out. Talk about hanging out round the outside. Wall of death, round the outside, in between the white lines. Genius gets on both curbs, comes switching back across the track. I'm like, nope, fuck this, late on the brakes. Down into first, going round the hairpin. We take 2 people in the space of 2 corners with 2 absolutely brilliant moves. And yes, I am biased by... Oh yeah, and this one as well. I could hear Stevie behind going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my... I knew what I was doing. I knew all I had to do was get it stopped hanging around the outside, but that curb is a bastard, as you will find out in the next clip. So, but yeah, Snetterton 300, it don't matter whether you've got a good setup, it don't matter whether it's default setups, whether or not you know how to take those 2 corners depends on where you end up in a race. If you take them too cautiously, you're going to get swamped by people that know what they're doing. Take them too aggressively, you're just going to spin out. A little bit like this. As I was chasing Franglish, I was really pushing. And then I think at this point, I was like, you fudge-packing donkey cunt. Because, yeah, I was angry at myself. So, yeah, can't argue. I mean, if you look at the majority of my racing videos, I'm my own worst enemy. Now, as you get a little bit of the Velcro bug here, but as you'll notice, I don't give up the place to Germo because I think that was more of a racing incident than me being too hot on the brakes. Germo went in a little bit too deep and then tried to cut back at the time where I think quite rightly so, going for an open gap that he's left there. So yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see what everybody else thinks about that. But yeah, up into 7th now. Basically, I'm just trying to get 5th, as many points as possible. Stevie's trying to tell him, Stevie, fuck off! And then, yeah, going into the braking zone again. Look how close we get to Tom Chambers. Fucking hell, we lock up. And Stevie, I've got to say kudos to you, mate. You could have easily turned in on me there and you could have fucked up both of our races. And it would have been my fault. I locked up on the brakes. But as I mentioned before, you being a respectful racer, knew that I weren't going to overshoot the braking point that much. You just held it around the outside a little bit and gave me the room. So, thanks. And this is what I mean about knowing how to take the corner that's coming up. Me and Tom are side by side. I think he even gets a bit of an advantage by the time we go into the braking zone. I'm telling Stevie, don't do anything stupid. But check this out. He brakes about 25 metres before me and I managed to hold it round the outside, get it stopped and make the corner. It's fucking quality overtake. But yeah, last lap of the race and we crossed the line in 5th. And another shout out to Urban Octane. As I've mentioned many times in my AOR Elite races and in other videos, Rez is a very, very quick driver. So to be only a 10th off him, for someone that weren't in the Elite League as well, like, hats off to you, mate. I mean, that just shows there are people in the Pro League that can hang with the people in the Elite League. But I think the difference is the people in the Elite League have a little bit more knowledge of what they're doing with the setups. But yeah, qualifying for Brands Hatch. And as you see, I've got Dr. Stones in front of me and I have to go for this move down at Druids. Get the car stopped. Not too aggressive or anything else. I mean, left him room on the outside. I was quite near the apex, I think. But as you'll see by this point, I had to get in front of him because look how much time he's lost already. But yeah, as you can see, we're already, what, 9, 10, well, a second up on our lap time. And now we come around the last corner, hug that apex, floor it, wait for the tarmac to dip, and then just hug the inside for the shortest run to the line. You can see we're 1.6 seconds up as it is, and we go, it's always fucking blizzard. Every single time, by a 10th. Oh! At least I can't moan that he's in a Z4 this time, I guess, but hey ho. But yeah, starting second at Brands Hatch, and I fucking love this track. I mean, the thing I love about this game is, and especially for European guys, unless they watch a lot of British racing, I think when it comes to tracks like Brands Hatch, Alton Park, Snetterton, where obviously over in England we watch the touring cars and all that race around these tracks, we have good knowledge of like where to do overtakes and everything. Because I think a lot of European people will only know about Silverstone, maybe Donington as well, like give or take how big their racing knowledge is. But yeah, back to the footage. As you can see, the top three are pulling away, and I get my car in a little bit of a tiz-was. Where the fuck did that word come from? I ain't said that in years. And yeah, get a little bit too randy with the curbs as we're trying to mount it. And check this out, Stevie knows what I'm like on the brakes. Even though he is like 2 car lengths ahead, he knew full well I was going to send my car down the inside. And I think we shut him up a bit because he runs wide and then loses time. But yeah, Blizzard then decides to go cutting grass for Brands Hatch for some reason. Maybe they've given him like a bit of money for it or something. But yeah, and now we come up to the lap 6 as we're coming up to Druids. I just want to let Franglish know that yes, I am good on the brakes going up to this point. We closed the gap in the braking zone. So it's just, I'm always putting my nose there just so he knows, if you give me a chance and you leave that door open, I will take it. I mean, it's the psychology of racing. It's like, you only get past people if you're hassling them. So, just got to try and stick within at least, I'd say at least half a second. So we are in his mirrors and he can see what we're doing. I don't know what view Franglish uses, so I'm assuming he's using the same view as me whilst having a rear view, whilst doing the rear view button thing so he can like check out the back. But yeah, as you can see, he runs a little bit wide through this corner, so we're like, we're going for it. By this point, I'd already made my mind up. I was going for that dive bomb. But yeah, a little bit too late on the brakes, and Franglish just gets the switchback. I don't think that would have worked, but it must have worked because coming up to the corner on the next lap, he ballses up the first corner, and then we just drive straight past. So yeah, you never know. It could have been the whole psychology thing. You never know. You never know. But yeah, and then nothing much else happened there. It was just pretty much just trying to race away from Blizzard. Not too many battles going on. But yeah, and then won that race. I think Rez won the overall thing. So congrats to him. But the battling and everything else was immense. But yeah, guys, my name's been the Living Dead 69. This has been the AOR GT4 Mini Cup. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, check out other videos on my channel. And I will catch you next time. Peace!